Howdy y'all, my name is Mark. I'm here with Kathy Cormier for our movement yoga morning warm-up. 17 minutes of yoga fun. And let's get going. Are you ready, Kathy? Come on up. All right, let's start with hands on hips. Once you get that hair fixed. Just marching it side to side as we often do. Just finding our feet, finding our legs, finding our balance. Welcoming the day, welcoming the morning. From that balance, I'll invite you to start kicking it off to each side. We've got our side kicks. We've got cross kicks. We've got our front kicks. We've got our back kicks. And then back to center as we march it from side to side. Before we move into our sun salutations, let's work some joint work first as we've gone down to the balls of a set of toes and just circling the ankle, the knee, and the hip. All three joints working together as they should. And then taking those circles the other way. Now switching sides, other toes, other leg, other ankle, other knee, other hip. And then taking those the other way. Now coming on down, let's bring the knees right together as we cap the knees with our hands and just circling your knees. And then taking those knee circles the other way. Now coming back up, don't think too much about it as we step our feet hip width apart. I'll invite you to look down at your feet. Most of us have a slight turnout to the toes. That's the way our hips are shaped. Hands find the back of the hips, knees soft as we circle those hips. And then taking those hip circles the other way. Now coming back center, let's pretend we have an extra set of hands on our hips, keeping the hips relatively stable. Thumbs find the shoulders. We can circle those shoulders. And then taking those shoulder circles the other way. Now coming back center, two arms in the air like you either do or don't care. We can take the hips one way, shoulders circle the other. Full body movement. And then taking those circles the other way. Now coming back center, hands by our side. Let's do some wrist work here. Two long arms in front, the thumbs face up. One thumb goes up, we cross the wrists. We spin the palms in and roll the hands in towards the heart and then back out. Let's just stretch out those wrists. Circling the hands back in towards the heart, two long arms in front. We can switch the cross of the wrists. Reclasping the fingers, rolling the hands in towards the heart as we stretch out those wrists. Rolling hands back in towards the heart, releasing the clasp of the fingers. Spinning the palms in, clasping the fingers, keeping the heels of the hands together as we circle those wrists. And taking those wrist circles the other way. Coming back center, we'll walk the fingers one over for that other clasp, keeping the forearms connected as we circle those wrists. And then taking those circles the other way. And then back center, hands by our side. Let's narrow our stance and straighten the feet. More of a traditional yoga way to work, equal stress on all sides of the joint. I'll invite you to bring hands to heart or like press of your thumb against your sternum. Relax shoulders, a soft tuck of the chin. Finding your breath, watching as it flows in and out. From a place of just watching your breath, now shaping your breath as you lengthen your inhalation and lengthen your exhalation. As you breathe in, full body breath, air to the top of the chest, base of the belly, filling up each side waist, filling up both front and back planes of your body. As you breathe out, engaging your core as you draw the low belly in and up, squeezing a little more air out. Most importantly, with that core engagement on the exhalation, providing structural support for your low back as we move through these shapes and sequences. Inhalation takes care of itself as the diaphragm engages and stretches down towards the navel to draw air into our lungs. And our diaphragm is one of the biggest muscles in our bodies. To this deeper, fuller breath, finding the Ujjayi breath, the victorious breath. It's a power breath, but a relaxing breath. Slightly constricting the base of your throat to add a slight sound and feel to your breath. And as we flow through our practice today, letting the sound and feel of your breath be a focus for your practice. The sound of which is often compared to the sounds of the ocean as the waves wash in and out. Now finding the tongue loop, tip of the tongue to the hard palate just behind your teeth, keeping that connection as best you can throughout the practice. Keeping our jaws relaxed and connecting front and back planes of our bodies. And finally, with your lips closed, adding a slight smile to your face. A Mona Lisa smile opening up the front of your throat so your breath has lots of room to circulate, refresh, and revitalize. Keeping all this, I'll invite you to set an intention for this morning's practice. It could be something you're thinking about, a word or a phrase. It could be something you're moving towards. It could be something as simple as you're perfect just as you are. Lifting the chin tall through the crown, rolling those hands over as we stretch out those wrists. Flat palms by our side. Now let's go sideways calf as we move towards our sun sal here. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling back down. 2 more times like this, just working the arms and the shoulders, noticing the natural rhythm of the shoulders as the arms elevate, the shoulders elevate. As the arms descend, the shoulders descend. 1 more time here. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhaling down. Adding a forward fold and a back bend. Half sun sal. Inhaling up. Exhaling, leading with the heart as you fold. Let an inhale lift chin and tail. Hands can cap the knees as we stretch out those hamstrings, arcing the back. Arching the spine as we round it on in. Tucking tail and chin, stretching out our back. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead, finding your neutral spine. Exhaling, standing tall. 2 more times like this. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhaling, leading with the heart as you fold. Let an inhale lift chin and tail. Now tucking tail and chin as you round it on in. Inhaling, riding the breath up, hands over head pose. Exhaling, standing tall. And 1 more to go here. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhaling, leading with the heart as you fold. Let an inhale lift chin and tail. Exhaling, folding it in. Inhaling, riding the breath up, hands over head pose. Exhaling, standing tall. I'll cue you back to down dog. Inhaling up. Exhaling, leading with the heart as you fold. Let an inhale lift chin and tail. Now tucking tail and chin as you ground down through the hands and find your down dog, stepping 1 foot back and then the other. As we hold this down dog, either holding it in stillness, inviting your mind to still, or adding some movement, stirring it up as you walk your dog from side to side. However you choose to work, finding that mind-body connection that's always there. What do you feel? And where do you feel it? Long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. As goes the breath, so goes the mind. Tail into that next breath, bending your knees ever so slightly, lifting the tailbone just a little bit higher. And then looking between the hands as you step or jump it to the front of your mat. Let it inhale. Bring length as you arc. Arching the spine as you fold it on in. Inhaling, riding the breath up, hands over head pose, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, standing tall. I'll cue you back to plank pose. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, finding your forward fold. Inhaling, creating length as you look up. Keeping that length as you fold it on in. Grounded down through one hand and then the other, stepping one foot back and then the other, finding your plank pose. As we hold the plank, feeling that connection between head, hips, and heels. A line of strength running through the center of yourself. A line of strength that supports your intention. Despite the effort of your action, keeping an easeful quality to your breath. Long, smooth breaths in. Equally long, smooth breaths out. Tail end of your next breath, navel to spine as you lift the hips high back to your down dog. Either holding your down dog in stillness or again adding some movement, yogi's choice. However you choose to work, finding that mind-body connection that's always there. What do you feel? And where do you feel it? Long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly, lifting the tailbone just a little bit higher. And then looking between the hands as you step or take a jump to the front of your mat. Let an inhale bring length when you arrive. Exhaling, folding it in. Inhaling, riding the breath up, hands over head pose. Exhaling, standing tall. I'll cue you through vinyasa. Inhaling up. Exhaling, leading with the heart as you fold. Inhaling, creating length as you arc. Arching the spine as you fold it on in. Elbows soft as you find your push-up. Feel free to use the knees or not. Inhaling into your back bend, be it cobra or up dog. Shoulder blades back and down, that's it. And then back over the toes. Feel free to use the knees or not as you come back to down dog. Other choices are all fours. There's also the awesome, awesome, awesome child's pose. Wherever you choose to work, breathing, watching that breath, and enjoying your reflection upon that breath. One of the aspects that keeps it yoga. Long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly, lifting the tailbone just a little bit higher. And then looking between the hands as you step or jump it to the front of your mat. Let an inhale bring length. Exhaling, folding it in. Inhaling, riding the breath up, Urdhva Hastasana, hands over head pose. Exhaling, standing tall. Sun Sal B flow style. There's going to be a lot going on and it's going to be happening fast. Inhaling into tall spine. Keeping tall spine, finding your chair. Inhale and hold. Exhale, go lower, finding more strength in your legs. Inhale, rising on up, finding a back bend at the top. Open heart, open throat. Exhaling, a big swan dive over. Let an inhale bring length as you lift chin and tail. Keeping that length as you fold it on in, finding your push-up. Inhaling into your back bend. And then back to down dog, but not for long. From down dog flow style, feet together, right leg high, high on the left toes as we stretch out Achilles tendon and calf. And then looking between the hands, pitching that leg even higher. And then flexing the foot as we float it on through. Spinning the back heel down, arms out to the side, and then overhead. Warrior one. Now riding your next exhale back to low lunge as you spin that back heel up. And from low lunge, back to down dog as you will. From down dog flow style, feet together, left leg high, high on the right toes. Looking between the hands, pitching that leg even higher. And then flexing the foot as you float it on through. Spinning the back heel down, arms out to the side, and then overhead. Warrior one. And then riding your next exhale back to low lunge, and one more time, finding your push-up. Inhaling into your back bend, and then back to down dog. As we hold down dog, again, we have that choice, either holding it in stillness or adding some movement. However you choose to work, inviting in more prana, inviting in more flow. From a place of movement, if you made that choice, back towards stillness. Long arms, long legs, long spine. Deep full breath. Despite relative stillness, you're still breathing, your heart's still beating, your mind's still moving. And by focusing on your victorious breath as it flows in and out, finding a little more space between each breath, each beat of the heart, each thought. Tail end of your next breath, bending the knees ever so slightly, lifting the tailbone just a little bit higher. And then looking between the hands as you step or jump it to the front of your mat. Let an inhale bring length, lifting chin and tail. Exhaling, folding it in. On the inhale, stay low, knees over toes, hands over head, the powerful pose. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhale, rising on up, open heart, open throat. Exhaling, neutral spine as you stand tall. I'll invite you to face camera, Kath. And as you bring one hand back onto your heart, or a hand onto your heart, the other hand on top. Relax shoulders, a soft tuck of the chin. Coming back to your Ujjayi breath, and coming back to your intention. Also just thanking your heart and your lungs for their hard work all day and all night long. Thank you, heart. Thank you, lungs. Now finding namaste hands, we can touch our thumbs to our brow. Your intention is in your thoughts. Thumbs touch the lips. Your intention is in your words. Thumbs touch the heart. Your intention is in your deeds. And then rolling those hands over as we stretch out those wrists. Flat palms by our side. I'll invite you to bring one hand onto the belly, the other hand on top. Any amount, I invite you to bow. Thanking yourself for practicing yoga and offering this practice out to each other and to the world. The light within me honors and respects the light within you. And in this light, we are one. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, Kathy, for working with me.
Thank you, Mark.
Excellent.
Thank you.
We're not sure what's going on next week. We're in upstate New York. If we can get a cast in, we'll do it. Otherwise, we'll see you the following week. Thank you so much. Or soon thereafter.
Thank you. Happy day.